Welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Nerd.
And I'm Captain Busy.
John is off for the night. He decided he needed to take a little bit of time off, and so we let people do that. You know,
We support that.
we support self-care and having a good time. Welcome to episode 282. Today we're going to be talking about hobby spacing, your area. We're also going to do some hobbying, talk about some of our hobby projects that we're working on and things that we're going to be doing. And just having a good old time. Before we do, let's go ahead and get to the business. We want to thank CreatureCaster for supporting us and bringing us all the cool stuff and letting us see. If you haven't played Judgment, Eternal Champions, make sure you go check them out. Also, if you like paints and want to have a ton of paints and cool stuff, make sure you check out the Cuttlefish Colors. Got the whole entire paint line. And you can get in on that and paint some really cool stuff. I haven't had a chance to test out their new base color yet. I've got them sitting right over there. I just haven't pulled them out and put them. I don't know where I'm going to put them because I have no space. Type thing.
It's almost as if somebody gave you a whole bunch of paints for Christmas last year.
What? Nobody would do that.
And nobody just sent me a bunch of paints either.
No.
No, not never.
No, I didn't have to buy a whole another case just to house those.
And then don't forget to check them out on My Mini Factory, where you can get their 5th edition modules with about 10 to 12 models that you can use in that 5th edition. I highly recommend checking out Judgment if you're looking for a quick, good miniature game. You only need about 7 models, and it's played on a gridded board, so it's actually pretty quick and pretty fun. And some stuff like the terrain is 3D printable, so you can print the 3D terrain out.
And you have mushroom forests.
Yeah, it's a mushroom board. We want to thank Midnight Heroes for sponsoring us. If you go on their website, you can also check out not only their miniature range, but also they've got a game coming out that they're trying to work on. Which the rules are out, and special edition Evira, not this size. This is the super chibi size that I 3D printed, which helps out Warfare Weekend. And then they got a Kickstarter going on right now too, so you can get I think there's this panda and some other stuff. I'm not sure exactly what's in it, but it's all cool, cute chibi stuff. We thank Parabellum War Games for the makers of Conquest. If you like good regiment battle games, make sure you check them out. And if you use the code More Than Dice, all one word, you'll get 10% off.
Woo!
Yeah, Xander, I know that I've seen that they've met some of their stretch goals, which is good. The Midnight Heroes guys are it's not their main job. They just do it for fun, and do 3D printing, which I've done some 3D printing lately for some stuff. And then who else? Muson Minis. I want to thank them for hosting the channel and putting it out there for everybody to see. And then gotta thank Turbo Dork for their awesome turbo shifting and metallic paint line, and the cool dry palette. Yeah, the cool dry palette. The new one fits inside the Game Envy top, so yeah, everybody's really excited about that. So you can check that out. We gave away a $50 gift certificate for that last week. Next week we'll give away another one, so you can get some good holiday shopping in with that. And I highly recommend getting that dry palette, latex dry palette.
Well worth it.
Oh yeah, very
I
much.
got that. I got that in 3 colors.
Yeah, so much worth it. I cleaned out mine, which is what prompted the podcast thing. Is I decided to do some cleaning of my room, and that's what got it up. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody.
I think so too.
I think so too. If not, we'll catch up with them. Guys, please take care of yourself. We're getting around that sick time, and we all just were around some family people, and we know that even though the pandemic is over and all that stuff, and COVID is a thing of the past, let's put quotes around it. Just make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure that you're looking after each other. Even if you think if you know that you're around somebody that had COVID, just take extra precautions. Type thing. If you can take some sick time, take some sick time. If you can't, do what you have to, but make sure you look out for each other. It's better to be safe than sorry right now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. Don't make out with any dirty hookers, that type of stuff.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know how that works. But please, just please look after yourself. Make sure you're taking vitamins. Make sure you're, trying to stay healthy. We want to see everybody else. Everybody know we're going to, most of us are going to be going to Adepticon. So we'll be seeing you in March. Hopefully you can go. If you can't, try to come to Warfare Weekend. And if you can't, let me know.
We'll figure something out.
Hey, Hellboop.
Find a way.
So, just please take care of yourself. Physically, emotionally, health-wise, you name it. Other than that, do we have any shout-outs this week? I don't
remember any coming up in chat.
I don't remember any, period.
Same.
I mean, I was like, I don't remember any at all. So, we'll have to wait and see. I don't remember. If anybody knows any shout-outs, just let us know.
Yeah.
So, let's get to the most important things. Captain Mizzy, what are you drinking tonight?
Some good old-fashioned, no pulp, vitamin C, orange juice.
Captain Mizzy is...
Bulb!
No.
No
I don't like chewing my drinks.
My roommate calls it chewy orange juice.
Captain Mizzy is got some allergies going on, and so she's trying to make sure she doesn't stay too sick.
Taking care of myself after I wrecked myself. Good times.
You checked yourself after you wrecked yourself.
Yes, I did.
Nerd, what are you drinking tonight?
I am having a cork hard seltzer, raspberry lime. It's quite delicious.
Nice.
I am doing the good old thing with Captain Mizzy. I am doing the H2O right now. I've got a little bit of congestion going on, a little bit of runny nose. So I'm just trying to stay hydrated and, happy because I have work tomorrow, like most people. And so
Yes.
I'm going to be doing the works, although I work from home on that day. But still.
So, are you going to work actually?
I will be working tomorrow. I have meetings tomorrow. I just won't be going into work. I'll be working from home tomorrow. It's my scheduled work from home day. So, Adeline said they would drink with you, nerd.
Cheers, ads. Cheers.
So,
Well, everybody. Yeah, we didn't do cheers.
we haven't got to the standard part of making sure that
Yelling at each other. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Always ahead of yourselves,
Got
guys.
2 chaos goblins in here.
Yeah, very
What do you
much so.
expect?
Guys, please make sure you take care of yourself. I know Hellboop is like, wrong time, but I really want you to know that I want you to take care of yourself. I also want you to take care of each other. We're coming to the holiday season. It's not always that great time for everybody. So please look after each other. Like I always say, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find someone that will. Because we really want you to be around and we want you to be happy. Cheers.
Cheers. Delicious. That was a really long sip.
I was waiting for someone to go, you gonna drink the whole thing right there, Gonzo?
Yes.
So,
You good there, guys?
I think I'm okay. I think I'm hydrated. I can feel, my cells being regenerated and everything. So I'm filling out. So one of the things I like to do whenever it gets around this time of the year, which is, the colder area, everybody's staying in a little bit longer and stuff, is rearrange and clean the hobby room. And I got to do a little bit of that this week, which really helped me out. Especially organizing, because I know that I've got, like I said, we talked about this on the pre-ramble, but I mean, I've got a lot of models that I need to paint for Adepticon. And I might not get it all. It just depends. So I want to make sure that I am going to get myself prepared enough. And I'm starting now on my stuff so I can have a good time and get everything ready. I mean, some of the things I got to work on is a whole Brine Blood's army, which are from War Machine Troll Pirates. I've got my Judgment models. Got 4 models to paint for that. And then, odds and ends, and I'm sure I'll have a BattleTech model or two that I'll have to paint up, but those are super easy because it's a contrast paint, dry brush, quick detail. I mean, I can get those done in no time. The Troll Bloods are going to be, the Brine Bloods are going to be the kickers, so because they're all unique and very detailed sculpts.
So detailed. But beautiful and amazing models.
Yeah.
Cannot say enough.
Hellboop, skipping the Adepticon this year, so I slowed down rushing to get War Machine stuff done. Well, then you can just take all that stuff and take it to Warfare Weekend and show it off there. But that kind of got me into the mood of cleaning. And so one of the things I did is I took and got a shelf to put my Gundam models on. Doesn't have to hold a lot of weight, so no big deal. And I put all those models on there, put the shelf up, put all the models, which left an open space on my right-hand side to put projects on. Things I'm going to work on or things I am working on, which cleans up my desk a little bit. And then I got to clean my desk up. And so there's something about a clean workspace that I was like, man, now I really want to paint. Because I redid my wet palette, cleaned off my Turbo Dork dry palette, silicone palette, organized all my space, got all my models ready, and was ready to go. And I was like, man, there's something about that when you get it all organized. Now, is it going to stay that way? Fuck no. Is it going to stay that way for long? Probably not. Is it going to get me more motivated to paint? Yes, because as everybody knows, I don't like listening to music while I paint because I start to dance and then I have a problem. And then I don't get to start to painting. So I actually am listening to one book right now, and then I have 2 more books lined up after that. So that'll give me some time. I also have an RPG coming up, but cleaning up to get into a space is, we talked about this last week, kind of therapeutic in a way, because you're getting stuff organized, and an organized desk to me is always a happier place to paint. So, I mean, Captain Mizzy, how is your organizational skills and how is your desk organized?
I have organized chaos. It works for me. Even though certain people would come over and think, oh my God, this is completely dysfunctional. Gonzo.
What?
But I have a system. So I've got my speed paints in front of me with my lighting area and my mat. So I can assemble, I can paint. I've got a section right here. It's fine. And then I've got all these other slew of paints over here that within arm's reach. So if I wanted something else for options, it's within arm's reach. It's fine. Now, there are some improvements that I can make. I fully agree with that. However, I don't have the space.
What do you mean you don't have the space? Can't you make things higher and stack them up and put them in buckets?
I have a tiny apartment and not enough organizational skill. I was not blessed with any of that as a natural ability. I'm trying, though.
Well, I know that somebody printed off a whole bunch of painting racks for you, so you should be able to have all your paints organized, right?
Yes, and that's part of my system that I was just talking about. So I've got all my speed paints right here on those racks. And then over here, I have a whole bunch of Turbo Dork, Privateer Press, and Army Painter paints. All within arm's reach, right here.
What about your 2 thin coats?
I don't have racks for those. I need to get more printed. So, They are currently still in a box within arm's reach.
Which probably won't need to be taken out anyway because you are looking for a new space. But yeah,
Correct.
that's kind
So
of how the things are.
it's a whole thing. But, and then I've got some space underneath my desk where I've got an ottoman storage place where I can put things. So that helps. But I just need more space. But I am working with what I got.
Same.
Well,
How you doing over there, nerd?
Oh, the I can't put a whole lot on the walls until we actually finish insulating and putting up the drywall. Everything is right now adhered with plywood until we finish insulating the studio, and it's been a very slow process. We've had the insulation for a year and have barely put any of it up. We've got to finish this, and it's already snowed.
it's already snowed.
Midwest winters are just brutal.
Winter has come.
But no, my paints have to be mobile because I have to take them in and out of the studio every night. Because unless it's like decent weather, because paints have to be kept at a certain temperature or within a certain range, and I don't need a repeat of last winter.
What happened last winter?
We don't need to talk about that again. You just pretend like that didn't happen. We'll just pretend I didn't say that and nothing happened last winter, other than a blizzard.
What happened last winter stays in last winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also something we need to talk about because for people that are with the cold months coming along, one, if you're painting, make sure that your paints aren't frozen. So if you're actually going to be doing a delivery, you're getting a delivery of paints, that's something to really think about. So be careful with that. Also, if you're a resin printer, by the way, or you're doing FDM printing in cold weather, especially resin printing right now, make sure you've got a room that's got that, that resin isn't frozen or super cold and such. So that's something we have to make careful of. But do you have a system where you're painting? For your desk?
Is it another version of organized chaos?
Oh, very much so. It is my goblin nest. Like I can't really show it off too well, but because I share it with my computer, I have to keep shifting my keyboard out of the way, so it's like every day is work. I don't make things easy for myself, but that is one of the things that I am working on doing, is trying to save enough money to build the workbench that I want to, and get the garage finished so that I can mount my monitors on the wall. That'll save me a lot of workspace because I just have a standard size desk. Like it's not a very big desk, and I think of that meme as just like what is it? Hobbyist decides to paint anyway despite only having 6 square inches of space. So
that is one advantage that I have over you. So I've got my L-shaped desk, and then I've got another older desk that's where I have all of my paint stored.
I used to have an L-shaped desk, and then we moved, and that thing wasn't coming with me.
Oh.
It was a freebie that I had gotten from like one of the Buy Nothing projects.
Gotcha.
And I had to like take it apart and stuff, and it was I think the only reason it was together is because it just never moved, but as soon as we were going to try and move it, that thing just fell apart.
It just said nope.
It was precariously put together the first time.
I had one of those desks when I was moving. It just fell apart because it was a presswood desk, and then pressboard, and
Yep.
it just crumbled when I took it out.
Yep,
Was the
that's
big
exactly
problem.
what mine was too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like I have my desk.
Weighed 1,000,000 pounds, but
Oh yeah. Like my desk I have where my computer is at, which is right here, actually is pretty much nerd hobby stuff, or collectibles.
Yeah.
Look, there's the screen. But I mean, it's mostly just like nerd hobby stuff, and there's the cameras, and so that stuff is whatever. But there's no hobbying done on my main desk, because that's
Yeah.
also where I game from. So that
I would like to have them separate someday, but right now I just don't have the space to do it.
yeah. Well, I mean, then there's the hobby table,
Yeah.
which is where I actually do the hobbying, where the camera and everything else is.
Gonzo, you need more paint.
You mean right there too?
Nice.
This is a old GW rack, and the thing's filled with paint too. But yeah, was it scale 75, cuttlefish colors, turbo dork, 2 thin coats, and then over here is some the excess of cuttlefish colors, because it's like I don't need the fluorescence over here, and then specialty paints and contrast paints over there. And then I also have 16 more cuttlefish colors that I need to work on. And then my underneath the desk area is where my other projects of models, which once I get done cleaning up the shelves over here, that's where my other, here's my box projects that I need to work on of models I need to put together and stuff like that.
Gotcha. It's a lot of paint. I wish I had that many options for paint right now, but alas.
Yeah.
I just don't have the space. Well, I've got a full core color set of Reaper. I've got Army Painter speed paints, but they're Gen 1.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
And
what I got.
then I've got the 2 thin coats now, plus the full metallic lineup of and fluorescence from Cuttlefish.
Yeah, that one's. I mean, do I use all these paints? Fuck no. But am I gonna keep them and use them and hold on to them because I might use them later? Hell yes. But when I was organizing everything, I was like, I've got to organize everything because I've got so many things that have to be done. And so many things, so many projects. So my next big project that I'm gonna be working on, besides painting miniatures and putting together my Gundams are kind of like I can put together my Gundams while watching TV or something else, because it's kind of a mindless, smooth brain activity. But the cleaning up this shelf over here, which I kind of showed, this shelf over here, these 2 metal racks, which has my board games and other stuff, and I need to sell a bunch of stuff and get rid of it. I don't play Marvel Crisis Protocol anymore. I'm just probably just ditch it all. Nobody around here plays it. Don't have time for it. But and my board games, I just need to clean them all off and get everything done. And once I clean that rack off of stuff, that's going to be like, here's my board games, here's my stored miniatures. And then, like it says, down on the other side of the table is a shit ton of Infinity terrain that I need to go through and just piecemeal together and figure out, hey, this is all the stuff I need for one table, and then probably give the other table, the rest of it, to like a local game store so they can have it, because all I need is one table's worth of Infinity terrain type stuff. So, but that looks like my next project is cleaning up that area. But I'm going to get back into the painting. I'm going to get back into playing games again. I've got not only War Machine stuff that I want to play, because I love me my Brine Bloods and love my Orgoth. But my Judgment and Infinity. I really want to get back into that. My Infinity, Infinity is just going to be a good, fun, shoot 'em up. Let's have a cool board type thing. And then Judgment, like I said, it's only 5 models I'm playing with, so it's going to be pretty good and pretty easy. But I also have a ton of testing and stuff to work on. But I'm not looking forward to getting all my Khador out and saying, hey, I need to sell it all, because I don't have space for it. I don't play it enough. I don't play that faction anymore. And just probably put it on the buy-sell page and go, hey, give me this plus shipping cost. God, that's a crap ton of stuff. I'll keep my Warcaster stuff because I only have... That's very small compared to everything else. But I'll put it in a box for safekeeping. I think I want to do something like... if I ever get a bigger place, get a new place, I'll probably want to do what a lot of other people are doing, is buying glass cases and putting all their models on each glass shelf. Like, here's my Brine Bloods, here's my Infinity, or, here's my Warcaster stuff. And then go grab whatever travel case I need to use and take that with me. And then, then I can go and just load up a travel case instead of having all my miniatures stored in a travel case. Because this next year, Adepticon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Brine Bloods, my Judgment, and my Battletech and put it in one case and just take one case with me every day instead of having like 3 or 4 cases, and just make it a whole lot easier. Just make it a lot more easily accessible. And then just getting a bunch of stuff done. Got so many things to do. So many mills. Like I said, my Brine Blood's biggest list is like 40 models. And then the second list doesn't use a lot of models, but it's just tons of... heck. I got the big old airship that I got to paint. So, no Captain Mizu, you can't borrow it.
That's fine. I have a job that pays me money now. I think I can eventually get my own.
Yeah, because I gotta get started on that. That's gonna take the longest, and I don't want to be rushing. I've got 4 months: January, February, March, and then December. Got about 4 months to paint all of it. All of it. Should be able to do it. Hopefully. Like I said, I'm not going to take my Infinity to Adepticon. May pick up some Infinity, but not going to play Infinity. Judgments, like I said, is no problem. 4 models, but it'll be the War Machine stuff that'll take the longest. And the hardest. And the meanest. And the coolest, because it's all pirates. Type stuff. Setting up your desk. How do you have your desk set up to paint? Nerd. Because you do streaming besides, hanging out with us. You do the streaming for your own personal channel and for us.
The same as I have it for stream. I've got my paint cup. I've got my paint puck for my brushes and water. I've got my wet palette. I've got my lamp and my board and my glasses, and that's about all I need. Well, a paint, obviously, but and my vortex mixer, so I don't throw my elbow out.
What? Mizzy?
So like I said, I sit here, and then in front of me, I've got my little cutting mat that I work with, and then I have, when I'm painting, I've got my palette here, my water cup over here on my right side, and then my brushes and stuff over here. So
Nice.
I keep it simple.
Do you have any ritual before you get started?
No.
Like you don't go and like get everything set up and get everything ready and then just go. You just go.
I tell myself, don't fuck it up and have fun.
Have fun is important.
That's what I do.
Cookie, she needs that elbow so she can play Jackbox type stuff. Because we got asked to play Jackbox, and I'm like, no, I don't play Jackbox.
Because
Why not?
I got better things to do.
Because he's lame.
I'm
Doesn't know what fun is.
I'm a lame-o.
I want to see what happens when Mizzy trolls Gonzo. Not that that doesn't happen on a regular basis anyway, but I want to be there for it.
Well, you could use the More Than Dice Discord, and play Jackbox there and get everybody together so you could do that. Whatever, Cookie. I know it's not your favorite. No, that was the thing is, somebody nerd was wanting to play some Jackbox. Guys, while we're talking about the Discord, y'all are more than welcome to use that for whatever. We don't care. I get on there and I was playing Final Fantasy 14 this week and was streaming some of that and just hanging out. So we don't care. And I'll be doing some more Final Fantasy 14 because I've decided to try out a couple of different classes. One of the class is the Reaper, and I tried Red Mage. I just couldn't get into Red Mage. It's just too slow. Just way too slow.
I like it because it's slow, but that's because I am slow.
So, and then I tried a couple of other classes too, and it just wasn't happening. So I do have a couple of rituals before I get started to paint done. First, I get whatever I'm going to be listening to ready and set up. But then I also change out all my paint water because, like a good person, I should make sure that my paint water is completely, clean. And then I pull out my paints of what I'm going to work on. My base colors that I know that I'm going to be using. Like, okay, for example, I'm not going to go to the thing, but I'm going to be working on this model from Judgment.
Diane.
And what it is she's like pulling the soul out of this body, and she's wearing armor, and in the standard paint job, her armor is green, and I think I'm just gonna paint it just like normal armor, but I'm gonna do her cloak and her robes that are on the back a green. See if that was like. I mean, it's got like this cool little filigree on the back, and I'll probably do that gold or like a bronze or something. But I plan on so I'll pull out my colors. I'll pull out, hey, these are my bases that I'm going to use, and then get the base colors down. And then once I get the base colors down, then I'm going to look at it and go, okay, I need to get, the highlights or, the shadows and the washes and stuff like that. Because I have to work on it a little bit. Like I did kind of start this a little bit. You can't really see because it's trying to get focused.
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of soul being pulled, and I gotta touch that up and get it ready. But, and then I'll probably just work from there because that's my thing is I want to get like here's my base colors, and then when I'm done using those base colors, I put those back. I mean, I gotta keep organized, and I haven't been doing that. And since I haven't been doing that, I've been getting the paralysis of trying to get things done. I just get oh shit, there's too much stuff here. Art and Michael don't have any cats, so I don't have to worry about cats walking by and wanting pets. I do have dogs, and then that does become a problem. But I like to get my base colors out, figure out what colors I'm going to be using, and then go from there. Also, since I'm not painting like a bunch of regimental, everybody looks the same models, I think I'm going to have a lot more fun painting this stuff now. The Brine Bloods, they're all different. I mean, sure, I'll have two models that are the same, but there's not like the Marauders are all the same model. Everything's a unique cast. So it'll be interesting and fun to paint. The only thing that's going to be the same is my Troll Warbeast. He'll be the same, but it's only two of those, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I mean, and there's not many pieces that I have to paint on him. Although I do have like a different hand and arm, or different arm on each one of them, but for the most part, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, so I mean, not too much. I got one extra arm on that. Hopefully things will stay at 75 points. But and also I've noticed that I really, really like enjoying having hobby holders now instead of putting it in my hand. I've over the last year I gotta have a hobby holder now. I don't like painting with it in my hand anymore.
I really like my so the Foxbite handle has magnetic tops
Mm-hmm.
that you can change out, and they've got these octagonal ones that are what's sextagonal?
Yep. I don't know.
Or whatever that shape is called.
Hexagon.
That's a hexagon?
Hexagon.
I thought a hexagon was no, it's a pentagon. You're right. Okay, so yeah, hexagon. I don't know words.
Pentagon is 5. Hexagon
Octagon
is 6.
is-
Octagon is
hexagon.
8.
That's a hexagon.
Okay, yeah, so it is, yeah, words. I can just words, but yeah, it's a nice grip that I can just like. It's a lot nicer to hold than the round ones, but yeah, having the various hobby holders, I've got a couple of different sizes. They're from different companies. They're nice to have.
I mean, because you're going to be sitting at your desk for quite a while. If you're going to be, even if you're going to be there for a couple of
Yeah.
hours, it's still going to be quite a while.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're at least comfortable, because that's the one thing is setting the desk. I wouldn't say setting the desk, but definitely setting the chair appropriately. I've noticed my desk sits lower than the highest function of my chair. And so if I leave my chair and I walk away for like a few hours, it raises itself automatically, and I've got to resituate it and re-push it back down to the proper height. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, really? Because I'll sit down and I'm like, why is my wrist so high? I'm like, oh, got to put the chair back down.
Oh, that's one of the things. I do have a new chair coming. I'm very excited. Finally getting a nice desk chair for the first time in my life, as opposed to one that I just, like,
Okay.
oh, this will
Found
work.
on the side of the road.
Not necessarily. I do go to a lot of thrift stores though, when looking for chairs and that kind of stuff. Because a lot of the time I'm just like, it's just a stool. What do I need? But like now I'm actually having to think about like back support and all that kind of stuff. And since I haven't had a chair since we moved,
That's a thing.
yeah. So, but then my stool broke, and it was doing something similar to what Gonzo's was, which is, except for that every time I'd stand up, it would pop up like a foot. Because the hydraulic went out, so like it wouldn't stay down unless I was sitting on it. And then it was all the way down. There was no in between. It was all up or all down.
That's a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, the hobby holders are nice. What do you use for a paint cup? Do you just use like a standard paint cup, or like I have my paint puck for cleaning that. I use that mostly for cleaning out my dry brushes. It's really good for getting knocking a lot of that dried paint off.
I use 2 of the Game Envy collapsible cups with the paint puck that I was already built into the bottom of it.
Nice.
That was a small gift from Game Envy to me for the sponsorship deals. They were like, hey, we put some extra in there. And I'm like, okay. And so I have the 2 Game Envy collapsible cups. I don't know if you can see them. They're like the red ones and such. I mean, I have enough Game Envy stuff. You would think we were sponsored by them, but we're not. But I have the Game
They
Envy.
just make good stuff.
Yeah, they do. They make good products. I mean, their wet palette is one of my favorite wet palettes that I've used ever. I like the clasping lid, um, and I also bought the little weights to hold down, the paper, the little copper
Yep.
weights, which are really good.
Same. I got all that at Epic
Technically.
on this last year.
Technically, Gonzo, you can get the Game Envy stuff on Turbo Dirk's website.
Correct. They do have a partnership.
Accurate.
Yeah. And then I use their hobby holders because of the right size for my hand, and I don't feel like I'm stressed out or holding things like crazy. So I use a lot of their products. So that's just kind of the thing.
I have how many hobby holders do I have? I have 4 different ones. I have a Jacob Jansen, which is this is one that I won and it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I got
But
one.
this is
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Jacob Jansen makes some great hobby holders. This one is a pine cone. Has a pine cone inside of it.
We all got a Jacob Jansen.
Oh, we all got Jacob Jansen. He makes
Yeah.
gorgeous stuff. It's a little heavy,
Yeah.
but it's really good for like heavy models because it's got very wide top base.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this one is he put a pine cone in it, and it's actually got grip to it. There's actually grip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Jim Slade. Yeah, Jacob Jansen makes great stuff. Make sure you check him out. But yeah, the pine cone, whenever he shaved it down or whatever, you can feel the pine cone, and so it's got grip on it. So it's got, texture. It's not just slick resin. And that's the reason why I got this one. I was like, ooh, I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
I do have
I'm
some of
still
his plinths also.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good one for doing some of the busts that I have. The Jacob Jansen works pretty well because I can sink stuff down into it if it's on a post. But I've also got, I've got that one that requires sticky tack. I've got the Game Envy and the Foxbite that require sticky tack, but then I have a cork topped one. Which is...
Now, do you know that the Jacob Jansen plinths will hold the Game Envy cork tops?
I did not know that.
Yes, it will. Jacob Jansen
Yeah,
talked to
this
Game Envy
is-
about that, and they were like, "Yeah, go ahead and do it."
This is a Wrathcore V3. So this
Yep.
one's... Yeah, this was the first one that I got because this was when I was working primarily in 75 millimeter, and I wanted one that was going to be tall enough. So, but yeah, I like this one a lot, but this is really good for small pieces that have to be pinned.
Yeah. Cookie, make sure you go check him out. I think he's back to using Etsy for Jacob Jansen. Maybe I can get one of my mods to put his link up there to his Etsy store.
Damn it.
Guess what I just broke?
Did you break the arm?
No.
Well, the arm that I just glued came off, but then the leg just broke.
Can't send you anything nice.
Nope.
But we
apparently
can't have nice
not.
things.
Now I can't find the arm.
Oh my
Oh
god.
wait, there it is.
So yeah, Cookie. Jacob Jansen makes it's all handcrafted stuff, so it's really good. He does pin blanks. He did all of our trophies for Warfare Weekend, minus the Best in Show trophy. That was something that he did. I like his hobby holders. Sometimes they're a little heavy, but they're good for really heavy models. Like when I go to paint this fucker, he's going to be put on a Jacob Jansen one because it's going to be nice and solid. And it's got a very wide top to it.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of good stuff. And like I said, he's all handmade. It's not his primary business, so you're helping someone out with his passion and his hobby. And he's a really nice guy too.
Yeah. Beautiful work. I want to get my hand on some of those plinths that he has.
I also have one of his plinths that I'm going to be using for a diorama. If I get things painted quick enough, I want to enter a piece into the P3 line, and I'll be using one of his plinths for it. But I gotta wait and see. I'm not much into competition stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, I'll do it because I can do it. But
do what you want.
I do what I want. Did we find that Etsy store for good old Cookie? That way Cookie can.
I'm working on it. My internet is slow and ghetto. You know this. Thank you.
Did you
Um,
dye your hair again recently? It looks bluer.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's there.
It's like squid ink. I like it.
Yeah. But I will be going back to Rainbow soon. Soon.
Soonage.
There. Link
I-
in chat. There you go. I
I'm
did the
going
things.
pink. I'm going pink,
Oh,
but like dark pink.
okay.
I'm going fuchsia.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. You're full of shit.
Do it, Gonzo.
Negative.
Dare you?
He's not brave enough.
Don't want to
He
do
won't
it.
even play Jackbox with us.
Nope.
Exactly.
Not gonna do it.
I got you, Cookie. I
Yeah,
got you.
Cookie, evil pink.
Does he have? He has display plants, but he doesn't have hobby holders anymore. Or oh, he does. They're called the hypnotic holders.
Ah,
He's got them a little bit different now.
gotcha.
It's best to go and find them at like a convention because they'll have a whole lot more than what he has on his website. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure he's going to be at Adepticon.
I think so too.
I think he's going to be at Adepticon. I think that's the next one he's going to go to is Adepticon.
Yeah.
No. If Gonzo's going to dye
Anyways.
any of his any color in his hair, he's going to get rid of some of the gray because he's starting to get way too fucking old. But that's just me. I'll do that. What was that old commercial? It shows my age. Going to wash that gray right out of my hair.
That's a line from South Pacific. That's the name of a song. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair.
Yeah.
It's just like, wait a minute.
You
It's
should
just
cover
a take
gray.
on that.
I did at one point. What's funny is at one point I did dye my hair jet black and my beard jet black just to do it one time for the hell of it, and people are like, "Oh my god, oh my god," because I look. I mean, so if I shave, I have a very baby face, and so that's the reason why I don't shave. Is the reason why I have a beard.
Please don't ever share.
That's why most guys I know that have a beard have a beard.
Yeah, and so I will. If I do anything, I will probably get rid of some of the gray. Not all of it. I don't mind some of it. I just don't want to be full white beard. So no, won't be dyeing my hair. So a little pimp for Jacob Jansen, by the way, guys. If you
Yeah.
haven't met him, he's a really wonderful person.
He
Makes a lot of
is.
cool stuff.
Gives good hugs.
Yep, he is a very nice individual. He made all of the trophies for Warfare Weekend, and he does all the painting trophies for Warfare Weekend too.
He made us special ornaments for Warfare Weekend too.
Yeah, he did.
Big Jim Slade's got me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ornaments.
yeah. He made little ornaments for Warfare Weekend, and I also does slate coasters. So that was another thing. We got a bunch of slate coasters that I got for everybody.
We
Right.
got slate coasters from Warfare Weekend and from Adepticon.
Oh yeah.
I have all the coasters from Jacob Jansen.
So we've been talking about the painting and getting it stuff, and we've been pimping out other people's product, which is okay. We haven't really talked about this. Priming your models. Are you a straight rattle can, or are you a rattle can, or are you a paint on brush on primer, or are you all of that, and then you do like the slap chop, or whatever it is, where you do like a little bit of highlighting of white and gray and all that stuff.
Okay, so this is what I. First of all, I only use spray on primer if it's a large project,
Okay.
or if it's going to be complicated to hand prime, because I have hand primed pretty much my entire career. Um, but what I do is 9 times out of 10 is I will dry brush white over black primer, but with white primer. And I don't use just primer, I use gesso. I use Liquitex gesso because a little goes a long way and it gives it that a little bit of extra grit. It's not visible. It doesn't come out in the pictures or anything like that. It still gives a nice smooth look. But for brush on, it's great.
Mizzy.
And then
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, nerd.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and then
Yeah.
I only dry brush white to pick up the details that I'm gonna end up painting over anyway with the way I paint, but it helps me to see where the details are.
So for me, it depends on what I'm doing. I typically prefer to do rattle can just because it's easier for me, and I'm doing in bulk priming type thing. But there are times when I'll spray something, but then I'll go in and I'll dry brush up white, like Nerd said, and pick out those highlights. So it just depends.
Well, what kind of painting technique are you using? Are you doing primary speed paints right now?
Primarily speed paints, but like on my Gruul avatar effigy for Judgment that I painted, I spray painted or I spray primed that black and then went in with a white dry brush and then I used speed paints over that. But then on my Brain Bloods, I'm doing a mix of speed paints and army painter paints and just kind of mixing with it and see how it works out. So a chaos paint.
Adeline says Zenithal is the best way to find you missed a mold liner or printing support.
Yeah, that was so. I was gonna say that because a lot of the stuff I'm using now doesn't have mold lines because they're all the Privateer Press stuff is now 3D printed, and so it's now finding printing supports. And so this is the dirigible, the blimp that was 3D printed by Privateer Press. A great model. I mean, you just had to glue these little tips on. But I noticed a few days ago
Bummer.
that I missed them, and you can see them right here.
Oh yeah.
These
Yep,
little
I see 'em.
little supports that are on the
On the
ropes.
other side.
And so I was like,
Yep.
crap, I'm glad I saw that because now that's the thing is I've got to find, and they're real tiny supports. I mean, like I said, there's no more mold lines on Privateer Press stuff. It's all, they're all single models. Like, I mean, this model is, all one model, no bits, no glues, no supports, no nothing. It's just there. Trying to.
You know, Gonzo, now that you've pointed out that on the bomber, I'm looking at my dirigible and I'm seeing the supports that I missed.
Yeah, see, I've got mine. This is the dirigible that she's talking about. And I've got to go. I'm gonna have to take and put a light on it and just recheck it to make sure that I've gotten all the individual supports, and they all break off easy. I mean, these things are.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you saw how thin that those supports were on there, and I mean the Privateer Press. I mean, this big old chunky boy. I didn't have to find any supports on him, but that's just huge.
Yeah, it's definitely not hard. It's just a lot.
It's finding those and doing that now because that's the thing is I'm used to looking for mold lines, but there's no mold lines anymore on Privateer Press stuff.
No.
One of the things so whenever I did a review of the Siocast model from
Rivenstone,
that had a lot of mold lines on it whenever it came to me, and I was like, that it was just taking too much to clean that off. But I mean, I actually sent a message to one of my friends at Privateer Press, and I said, they've spoiled me on putting models together because now it's just glue it on the base and it's done. There's very, I mean, most of their models are one piece. The small dirigible was two pieces, the balloon top half, and then the rest of the model. So I mean, it was all.
Yep.
I mean, it was all,
It's
simple
easy.
pieces. I mean, Captain Boomhowler or Admiral Boomhowler, all
She
one
looks
piece.
so
Admiral
good.
Boomhowler. Yes.
I mean, all one piece. I mean, it's now looking for supports instead of looking for mold lines. Like this creature caster Mizuzi, which she turned out, or it or whatever they are, turned out really well, all creepy and gross. But I mean, this was like 8 pieces, but
Oh wow.
it was a resin, so wasn't bad, wasn't hard. But I mean, I've got Infinity models. The old, still metal ones, and that's like
Mm.
9 pieces or whatever. And I messaged my friend at Privateer Press and says, "Y'all have spoiled me." That all I got to do with Privateer Press models is glue them to the base most of the time. Clean off, whatever resin, whatever supports that I find, because they're not going to get all of them. And the ones they don't get are super tiny little things anyway. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, depending on Xander. Xander's talking about mold line or not mold lines, but layer lines. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the thing I've noticed, so when Privateer Press first started, there was some that had layer lines, but they're like, if you find layer lines, tell us. We'll just send you a new one. And we'll get it fixed. And their newer stuff is ungodly, amazing, gorgeous type thing, um, type stuff. And if you're doing it at home, if you have a resin printer at home, and you're doing layer and you get layer lines, that's something you have to look at in the way that it's either set up or whoever, and but not been thin enough layers printed. That's something you need to check into. So if you're buying a resin print from somebody, 100% look for layer lines. I did do a post. I think it was on the More Than Dice page, where I was printing out the Sweet Tooth model from Creature Caster,
Hmm.
and one of them you could see the layer lines because it was printed out at a much thicker layer, but the other one was the other ones were printed out the same, and you couldn't tell the difference between them. But Cookie Infinity has moved to, and hopefully they get it fixed and they get it done because it's been,
Siocast.
yeah, they recently switched to Siocast,
Okay.
and it has not done very well for them. Hopefully, the last few that I've seen didn't do very well, so hopefully they've got that figured out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Corvus, I love you. Um, they're awesome. Just I know I haven't seen any of the newer stuff, but I know when they were first doing it, they were doing some of the bigger models in Saocast, and there was a lot of complaints about that. And I'm sure they fixed it, just like any other company. They're like, "Oh shit, give it to us. We'll fix it." But I wish Infinity was plastic, honestly, because they're so small and so fiddly. Infinity models. So I mean, like, here is a. So here's a standard Infinity model. Let me hold it by the base, and then here's a standard Warcaster model or War
Gotcha.
Machine model. I mean that's how big of a difference they are, type of thing. And I understand why Infinity is that small. No problem with it, but I wish it was plastic instead of. I wish I had just gone with 3D printing. I mean that would have been even better. Privateer Press has really pushed forward on that, which I think is really good.
Really, Grebo. I'll have those are on my list of ones to check out, Adeline. But even though I don't play Blood Bowl, I want the Cutimals sets so bad. I want all the undead animals.
Adeline, Privateer Press is the same way. There's no mold lines on Privateer Presses, and if you find one that does, I wouldn't say mold line, but if you find a layer line, they will replace it. No problem. No questions asked either. I mean, I was so surprised at how detailed these came out and how, I mean, you can't see shit. They're just amazing. There's no issues and so detailed. Whoever they have doing their supports and putting them, on the plate did a really, really good job. First ones, not that great. There were issues, mixtures, but they worked on it and got it hard and worked really hard to get it right, and it's really good. And they have really cool models now too. Some really cool sculpts. Actually, it's 8:02. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Let's get to that
All
media
right,
section.
thanks, ads. Have a good one.
I know Captain Mizzy said she had 7 things and she did nothing but watch TV today.
You hilarious.
Just like I got secrets.
You
Secret
got all the
surprises.
secrets. Yeah, no, I got literally nothing. I watched the back of my eyelids for the last 3 days. Yeah, no.
I only have 6 this time.
The most media thing that I did was play Jackbox with Nerd on Friday.
Okay. So I
Other
guess
than
I'll
that,
get
I got
started.
nothing.
So I guess
And
I'll
I
go and
have
start.
very few, so it's mostly going to be you, Gonzo.
Shit. John,
Sorry.
John.
I did mostly I read this week.
You could talk about that.
I know. But I'm a slow reader, so it's one thing.
So, all right.
It's
So
one with the webcam.
I'll talk about one of the things that I watched. Hey, Art and Michael just finished Band of Brothers. Amazing series. And starting next month, the people that did Band of Brothers are doing another one. It's going to be on Apple Plus. It's about bombers and air combat and such. So I'm looking forward to that. Seeing it. Can't remember the name of it. But so a lot of stuff came out this week, so I tried to absorb what I could. And I'm in the middle of watching Squid Game challenges. And so what it is it is a real life version of Squid Games. And nobody dies, of course, but they're doing they're doing most of the same games that the Squid Game in the TV show. So one of them was, the red light, green light. And I thought was interesting is, of course, they don't kill you. They have a squib pack underneath their shirt. And so if you lose, the squib, pack explodes or you get hit by it. It's sort of like a paintball pellet and such. And so I honestly have not cared about any of the stories of anybody in there, of who's winning. Just like seeing people get really, really upset about this. And now, don't get me wrong. If you win, you're going to get like $5 million. It's a shit ton of money. You'll lose half of it to taxes and so on and so forth. But it's been interesting to see them play the original, Squid Games. Like they did the honey one where people were, where he licks the back of the thing to, get it to break. And immediately when that starts off, everybody's like licking this little honey thing. And they're just all like licking it like crazy. I'm like, whatever gets you through. But they're stabbing each other in the back like all the time. It's just everybody's like, someone's like, oh, you get to send 3 people home. Like, this guy was an asshole, this guy was an asshole, and this guy was an asshole. And they're just, but what I thought was interesting is some of the people that participated are now suing the game show because of like nerve damage or getting hypothermia while they were playing. And I was like, I think you're going to lose, but I haven't seen all the games. It's not fully completely out, and they've been kind of tame. I think it'd be more, mental things, but it'd be interesting to see how this all goes through. The next episode is where they have to play against, they had everybody pair up for a picnic, and everybody that paired up, now they have to get and knock each other out. And this guy had him and his mother were in the same group. They were paired up to eat this picnic together. And so now he's either going to have to kill his mother or his mother's going to have to kill him. And they're already upset about that. And people are like bawling like crazy. I'm like, Well, it's just how it is, you know.
It's Squid Games.
Yeah, which we should be getting the next season of that pretty soon. So, but I just thought that was interesting. I'm actually kind of just watching the game. Don't care about much of anything else of it. Tell us about Jackbox because Cookie wants to know about Jackbox.
Nerd, you're gonna have to help me out here. So
We played Junktopia to start off with, which is basically fantasy Antiques Roadshow,
it's
where you make up the backstories for different objects so that you can get turned into a human again
because you get turned into a frog, and then
by some like weird ass wizard.
yeah,
And
pretty
then
sure
he
he's on
takes you to a
drugs.
and then he takes you to a thrift store and makes you go shopping, and then you have to give a funny name and backstory to certain objects and try to get people to, vote for you.
But how do you
And
play
show
it?
your friends.
Oh, I mean, there's so many Jackbox. There's like a bunch of different games, so it depends on what you're playing. Like TKO is a T-shirt and slogan game. So you draw different things, random stuff, and then you put in like slogans you think you'd see on a shirt or different phrases or words or whatever, and then people like choose them out of a hat kind of a thing, or you get a bunch of random ones, you put what you think the best combination is together, and we vote on it from there. But you play, like, you only need to have one person to host the game, and then everybody else plays on their phone.
How do you host it?
You have to own the game, and then you launch the game, and then you share the code that is in the game.
So do you play this like on Twitch, or are you just playing it like?
We were just playing it on Discord.
Oh, okay.
You can play it on
Play it on
Twitch,
Twitch.
if you stream it. The guys over at the Litching Hour do it every Friday for Fruit
Yep.
Soup.
Yep.
But if you don't want to play with the Fruit Soup people because they get crazy sometimes, or if you want to get a different kind of crazy, you can hop in a Discord with your friends and be like, hey, let's play some Jackbox. What else did we play?
Yeah, we can totally play that in the. I mean, I'd be happy to host in the More Than Dice Discord. So, let's see. We also play. What was the other one? Oh, Survive the Internet, which is a game of trolling people.
I loved that game so much.
Yeah, because you won.
Because I'm good at it.
I know, you were the ultimate troll. I bow down to you.
Because I'm an internet troll. We know this. We have established this. What I do. You make memes out of different headlines and you troll your friends and it's great.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know about it?
Oh, we also played Quiplash.
Yes. Quiplash is a classic.
Which is like Cards Against Humanity, but you write the answers. So there's a prompt or a question, and then you have to write the answer, and then people vote on their favorite answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fun shenanigans.
Do you usually play it on Friday night?
I used to play it every Monday, but that group unfortunately fell apart. But I'd be down to run that on Fridays periodically. I don't do it every week, but
See, Cookie, you got to get with him, and then you can play.
I
Jackbox
don't. Yeah, Friday is normally Fruit Soup, so I didn't want to step on their toes.
Yeah.
But it was a holiday, so I wasn't sure if they were playing.
Well, I mean, you could just say, get on Discord and say, hey, I want to play, Jackbox on whatever day, and
Let's do an unfiltered Jackbox session.
Oh yeah,
since it's not streamed, you can go and have a good time.
exactly.
You can be on Discord, and we don't care.
We get to learn just what horrible people we are.
Yes.
So I was watching the newest episode of Monarch. which is on Apple Plus, which is the start of which is a prequel to the Godzilla movies and such, the recent one. And damn, this is good. If you don't have Apple TV, I'm sorry. They've got some great programming right now, and Monarch is amazingly good. We're getting into like some really good meat and potatoes of everything. And I was completely, fuck yes. It was a great episode. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like Godzilla, like Kaiju, like good storytelling, good acting, everything, one of my top shows right now. I look forward to every single episode. I am enjoying the shit out of it. So if you have Apple TV, go watch Monarch. If you don't, find someone that does and go watch Monarch, because it is a great, great TV series. And it's really ramping up. Monarch. Yeah, it's been, it's we're only like 3 episodes in, and it's ramping up even bigger. I mean, 3rd episode, we already got Godzilla.
Nice.
So they're getting to the fucking monkey right away. So looking forward to it. Nerd?
I started reading a comic series called Saga.
Oh yeah, I know Saga.
So yeah, basic elements. You get your star-crossed lovers who were soldiers in opposing armies of an interstellar war, who have a baby and are being hunted by both sides.
Yep.
You've got a royal family comprised of humanistic robots with TVs for heads. We got magic. We got ghost. We've got a bounty hunter with a giant cat that acts like a lie detector. We got a forest that grows wooden rocket ships, and that's just to start. But it focuses around Alana and Marco and their quest to find a safe place to raise their baby. I like that when they bicker, it actually feels like 2 people squabbling. Like it actually it feels like a real fight. The writing is really good. It's by hold on, I don't have the book out in front of me. Who is it by? Brian K. Vaughan. The artwork is fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. It's like they could be like Alana and Marco could be any young couple trying to protect themselves and their child in desperate circumstances. If those circumstances are like the circumstances are kind of like a dream that Neil Gaiman would have had, running a high fever and taking too much cold medicine. Yeah. But that's it's a fun sci-fi tale with some real gritty realism to it, and it's one that's been recommended to me for a while, and I'm looking forward to reading more.
Nice.
So I give it 1 space RP.
I'd like to send you some books so you could read, since you like Saga. So I binge watched a show because I was like, I heard this show was good, and I was like, oh, it's only like 8 episodes. Oh, it's 8 1-hour long episodes, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
What was it?
Blue Eye Samurai. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's a story about a half Japanese, half Caucasian individual that is getting revenge, type thing. And holy fuck, this was good. This was unbelievably great. Somebody said to try to describe it. So the fights and the animation, the choreography for the fights and all that stuff, this is an animated studio one, are great beyond belief. The animation, great. The blood, all through this. The violence, all through this. The cocky badass attitude, all through this. The sex, all through this. The violence, all through this. The characters, all the characters were wonderful to watch. You hated the ones you were supposed to hate. You loved the ones that you wanted to love, and you rooted for who you wanted to root for and who they wanted you to root for. Um, it was very, very, very good. It reminded me of a Ninja Scroll minus the supernatural. So,
Okay.
it was it was bloody and violent. Don't get me wrong. There's blood all through this. There's boobs and a few sex scenes, all appropriate. Nothing outrageous. But I mean, it was so good. One of the things I thought was very interesting was the way they did the music. Um, it was modern music, like they did For Whom the Bell Tolls during a fight
Okay.
scene, but it was in Japanese. So it was like,
Interesting.
and you knew what it was because you heard the lyrics and everything come through, and then they said part of it in English. But damn, this game, I mean this show was great. I'm sure it's going to get renewed for a second season. You can tell this is going to be a limited series, like maybe 3 or 4 seasons, and it'll be done. Um, but man, the violence was very good. Um, or Michael, I thought it was a good twist. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I think if they would have done it in English, I probably would not have liked it. But I think since they did it in Japanese, it worked for me. But I love the shit out of this show. I was like, I mean, I'm just watching. I'm like, hell yeah, kill that motherfucker, yeah, type of thing. And I'm just like, oh yeah. You're like, oh yeah, this was good. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Um, Very, very good animation. Art style is very good. Characters are really nice. This thing gets a 0 from me. I can't wait for the next season. I highly recommend it if you have Netflix. It's not a kid's show. It is ultra violent at times, but it's appropriate. Like you get cut with a samurai sword, it's not just like, oh, my side. It's like gut spilling out type thing, but it's appropriate. It's not The Boys ultra violent, but it is definitely a violent cartoon and bloody. A few sex scenes, I think it's maybe like 3 or so, and some nudity, but really good. I thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed the crap out of it. Can't wait for next season. Nerd, you got anything else?
Not. Oh, started a new season. I started a new mini series, but we're having issues with trying to play the second episode, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. They remade The Stand
Oh yeah,
into a mini series.
yeah.
So we watched the first episode of that. I really like it so far. I'm really curious to see where they go with it, but we're having issues with playing the second episode, so we'll see.
Um, I did. So I was trying to find things to watch. I did try the new Scott Pilgrim on Netflix. It is a new retelling of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and they have some of the same cast members that were on the movie doing the voices in this too. And I just can't get into it. It just don't care. I'm just not
Yeah,
into it.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
From what I understand, they changed up the story quite a bit, and some people are pretty pissed about that. But I tried it. It's just not my thing. So I only made it like 3 episodes in, and I'm like, bye. So I went to try to find something else to watch, and I watched the last episode of Invincible because they're only doing 4 episodes this season until next year. So I got to wait till next year to watch the rest of the season. And I know the last time I said I was watching it, which is probably last week, I really wasn't into it, and it really wasn't that great, and really it wasn't. But these last 2 I watched turned out pretty good. The episode 3 and 4 picked up and got the story going and got it moving, and it wasn't it wasn't just there. They're actually doing something with it, so I'm in it now. I'm good. Let's see what the last of the season does. I think the biggest problem with a lot of shows now, and it goes for this one, is they're waiting too long in between seasons. Now I get it that, there was a pandemic, but this is 3 years between season 1 and season 2.
Dang.
I'm like, you can't.
That's a long time.
I think it was 3 years. You can't do that. It's going to be hard nowadays because I think the newest Game of Thrones, they're like almost 2 years in between the season, and I'm like, you need to bring them out consistently every year. Now, don't get me wrong, we had the writer's strike and such, but you're going to lose people. And it's not going to be as good because everybody's waiting like, oh man, this season was so great. Waiting. This kind of season was okay. Type thing. So hopefully with the writer's strike, being over, quotations around, maybe we can get back to some good TV again and good series. I'm glad that the things that got finished enough time before the strike, like aka Monarch. So hopefully we'll have some really good stuff to watch. But
Fingers crossed.
I'm looking forward to it. Last thing I watched was on HBO Max, and I watched this on a whim because I was like, this looks kind of weird and interesting, and it was called Scavenger's Reign. Scavenger's Reign is a cartoon about a spaceship that the people on the spaceship have to do a crash landing and survive on this alien planet. And holy fuck is this planet alien. The weird shit that goes on this planet is beyond belief. Incredibly weird. They've got a monster that has psychic powers but absorbs people into their bodies and uses them. Everything's super, super alien. Everything's super, super weird. Super far out there. It's like someone was on an acid trip when they made this because it is so weird. Animation style is it's all right. But it's not great. The story is about different groups of survivors surviving for a little bit of time until they can get on the spaceship that landed. And so it's their path getting to the spaceship. And it reminds me of like an old 70s acid trip cartoon. And it was kind of weird. It was just okay. I thought it was going to be better than what it was because the first episode was kind of cool. Second episode was all right. And then it just went like, what the fuck? And I just couldn't get it into it any much more. So I give it like 2.5 space herpes because it's just meh type thing. So I'm like not really into it. Didn't care for it too much. Like, whatever.
Fair.
Was not too happy about it. But my picks for the week is Blue Eye Samurai. If you have Netflix, go watch it. It is really good. And if you have Apple TV, go watch Monarch. So good. So fun. Just good entertainment. I'm really enjoying the crap out of it. I did put together one of my Gundams. If you follow me on Facebook, if you don't, sorry. But I put together one of my Gundams and enjoyed the shit out of that. I think it took me like 5 hours to put it together. So
Not bad.
not bad. It was a big one too. So man, my nose is itching like crazy. I have 2 more Gundams. I probably won't be streaming them because I'll just put them together. But there's not much I'm looking forward to. I have to finish the last bit of Doom Patrol because that's the series finale, and Gilded Age, which we should get into the end of that pretty soon. But not much on the TV side that I'm looking. There's not much coming out. There's not much. There was some stuff that I wanted to watch, but I didn't have. I wasn't gonna buy it because I wanted to either rent it, but it was only for buy. And it was of course the new Indiana Jones, Barbie, and like there was some other sci-fi show. Can't remember the name of it was, but wait till it comes out either for free or for cheap rent digital. So
Yeah.
other than that, nerd Mizzy, you got anything else?
I've put together 3.5 models tonight.
Woohoo!
Woo!
I'm guessing all judgment models.
Yes. I'm working on Gendris right now, which means that I've put together Thorgar, Zyvera, and Yorgoth, I think is
Yorgoth.
the other one. Yeah. So, yay, Minotaurs.
All the Minotaurs. Is your entire
All the Minotaurs.
7 model going to be Minotaurs?
Most of them.
Yeah.
I think maybe 1 or 2 isn't. I know Piper's not.
Oh yeah.
Piper's an honorary Minotaur.
Piper's
he
not
my
a
fast boy. He my fast boy. And then later when they come out, I want to get Bale and Sarna. There's some gobos that'll work with my Minotaurs.
Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
You actually have one of the gobos right now, the Wolf Rider Jaeger.
Jaeger, yeah, I've got Jaeger.
So
I got the big version of him.
yeah, the original size.
Yeah. Which I got in my Warfare Weekend BIG bag. So,
You're gonna show them off.
yes. Gobble boy.
Nice.
The original
Yes.
size.
Yes. So, let me get to where I can see. So, here is Yorgoth size.
Very nice.
And then, for comparison, Jaeger.
They're huge.
Also.
So, hey guys, well,
Good
you know
times.
what? That's actually pretty much our time. Who should we be sending people off to? Nerd.
Let's go check out. Let me make sure he's actually on.
I'm not seeing
Let
anybody.
me. Hold on, no. Monster Den Minis.
All right. Guys, we appreciate you coming out like always. It is always appreciated you coming and hanging out with us. We'll be doing some more stuff online. It sounds like there is now going to be a Jackbox games being set up on Discord. From
Did you fix that link?
I did
for
fix that
Chimera?
link for the Discord. So if you want to hit that / Discord, and it should give a link to it, you can go to there and
Come hang out.
Come hang out, do stuff. Nerd's going to be playing Jackbox, and then I usually hang out there and play some Final Fantasy. And if you are playing Final Fantasy, let me know and come play with me. I'll probably be doing some streaming every once in a while, but mostly I'll probably just do some Discord stuff so I can save the streaming time. That way I can get off whenever I need to. But guys,
Gonzo and I have a bunch of stuff to paint, so if you want to come and hang out and paint with us,
yep, we can just do
we
that.
could
on
do that
Discord.
too.
Yup.
Come out and hang out and talk with us. Guys, like usual, please take care of yourself. Please look after each other. Make sure you're checking in on everybody. Make sure that you're, even the ones you think that are always the solid rocks, make sure you check in on them. As always, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, do something. And if you can do something, do it. But if you can't, find someone that will. We want you safe, happy out there, and we want to make sure that you're taking care of each other. Physically, emotionally, and make sure you take care of your health. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm Nerd.
And I'm Captain Mizzy.
See y'all later. Make sure you stick around for Monster Den Minis.